What it is, what is up, what is good, gamers? This is Shonuff71, aka Digadulamite.
That purple bling bling, y'all.
And your auditory canals are tuned into episode 289 of the Gaming Vessels podcast. Of course, I'm not in the digital studio alone. Along with me, got my partners in crime. First on deck, we got Dez, a.k.a. the Bay Area Terror, a.k.a. the High Res Hater.
That's me in the place to be. Jolly G. Helly hee hoo hee hee. I don't know what I'm doing.
Okay. a.k.a. the Cat Daddy, a.k.a. that Gamer Stepdaddy. What's going on, man?
That's me. Not much. Just here, back. Can't wait to talk about PAX and our main event. It was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. It was challenging for me, but I'll tell you how and why it was challenging when we get to the main event. But other than that, doing pretty good.
And of course, our show's a no-go without Trader Joe, a.k.a. Jabroni Chief.
Yeah.
But you might also know him as the Food Max of Gaming, who can maximize your gaming dollar. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. I'm doing good. Just kind of getting back in the flow after PAX, after traveling and all that business. So, dealing with a little car issues. I'm hoping to resolve tomorrow. We'll see. I'm crossing the fingers. I got a check engine light, so you never know how that goes. So, just kind of getting back to my norms over here and getting back to the usuals. So I've been trying to resist Wario 64 and gaming deals this past week. So it's like
that siren song of the discounts and the deals.
You know it. I have to go and ask myself, all the vital questions. Are you going to be playing this right away? Is this something that will be discounted later on even further? It's like I was debating about Sniper Elite Resistance for PlayStation 5. And it's like, okay, how many Sniper Elite games do I own? I own 2, 3, 4, and 5. So have I played 2, 3, 4, and 5? No, I have not played 2, 3, 4, or 5. So therefore, I have not purchased Sniper Elite Resistance. So I'm resisting the resistance over here. So,
so that's what it sounds like. Jeez.
Yeah. So collecting Joe is becoming a little bit more practical, which is a good thing, in my opinion. So.
Is it though? Is it though? I mean, is it?
It depends if when I die, you're going to make me a urn of PS4, PS5 cases. I'll be in the blue shelled hue.
I'm going to melt it all down, buddy.
You got it. So that's my quandary. So maybe you'll see me in my playlist talking about playing Sniper Elite 2, 3, 4, or 5 soon, just to kind of equate and push this up. So
as long as you're having fun with it, right?
You got it, man. Backlog buster over here. So call me the backlog buster instead.
We got the Ghostbusters. We got the backlog buster.
Okay.
I don't think it's that. Never mind. Let me shut up.
Why, you had some crude or rude remark to make?
No, not at all.
Oh, gosh. All right, folks. What is always our first topic on the docket, we're moving right into the playlist. Okay, so I think this week we will begin with Sir Jabroni. What you been playing, man?
During my travels, pretty much I brought my Switch 2 and I brought my Steam Deck, and guess what I played? Desmond's going to probably call me out here, but I've been hating on the Switch 2. I'm just like saying I've just been preferring to play on my Steam Deck. So
good, it's fine. I want you to play what you want to play, buddy. If you want to be the Switch 2 hater, that's fine.
No, I'm not hating.
Sure. Wait till we get to our PAX coverage, and I'll tell you how much of a hater this man is.
Oh, please. Oh, please.
Mm.
So yeah, as far as what I've been playing on my Steam Deck, it has been Legend of Heroes: Trails in the Sky. So it's the first Trails game in the gazillion games in the series on there. So this is the game that's getting the remake, as I talked about before, coming out for every system under the sun, except for Xbox, of course, because Xbox, who wants to bring anything to Xbox? So and been
They're
playing.
trying,
They're trying. Yeah. So I've been
Leave
like
Phil
off and
alone.
on playing this game only on my like Amtrak and travel on here. So I want to get back into the mix to play it when I'm home, actually. So it is a traditional great turn-based RPG, and even though with the remake coming out, it's probably going to take them a year and a day to remake both the second and third game in this particular set of trilogies. So that's why I'm going to continue to play the original versus checking out the remake on there. So I'm, I want to dedicate some time to use my Steam Deck. Can't do it at work because I don't have enough time at work. But I could definitely see winding down. Before I go to bed. That kind of similar when we were in our plush hotel room playing a little Steam Deck before getting a little sleepy and going to sleep in Seattle. So I'll probably be doing the same thing on there. I also been playing quite a bit of Earth Defense Force 6. So this started because of our first game night in a long, long while. Before PAX on there, so we got together. It was me and John BT and Goonie. Basically, just playing it up and playing some Earth Defense Force 6. We also had Jason Surge of Fire join us for that particular session. So I pretty much
got a full man. You got a full man grip, huh? Cool.
Yeah, we did. And then we just recently, after PAX this past week, I threw up a game night on Thursday, and so. We had John BT again, Goonie, and then also we had someone named Shownuff71 show up as well. And we had Ace Black in the mix, just watching us play. I just threw up, broadcast my gameplay a little bit, and while he was talking about Lost Soul Aside and other stuff he's been playing, Metal Eden. So we got a good game night going. So I want to try to throw it up. Every week. As far as Thursday really worked out great this past week. I'll probably look to do it probably either Wednesday or Friday this upcoming week. Got some plans on Thursday, but really that caused me to get the EDF itch on here. As far as the missions I'm up to, at least in my personal playthrough, up to like mission 31, give or take. On there, it got up to the point where I encountered one of the new enemy types in EDF6, which happens to be these like kind of robot destroyers with big ass bombs on both sides. So,
The Al Qaeda bots.
Yeah, the Al Qaeda bots. Yeah, those are particularly fun because you have to aim for the bots, but if you shoot the grenades off them, the grenades will explode. So I've been using a combination with my Ranger between a sniper rifle, which I've been trying to pick them off from afar, and then also using some sort of lock-on missile weapon as well. So, also new for EDF6 for at least the Ranger is that we have vehicles now, so you can bring out tank, you can bring out a motorcycle and a helicopter. So I played around the tank a little bit, but it's typical EDF janky, kind of weird controls, like if you were playing a game from 15 years ago kind of thing. So, but that's EDF for you. So,
yeah, so it makes it fun.
Yeah. And, I love the fact that when we were first starting to play the game between me, Goonie, and John BT, we were commenting about the whole story premise because you start the game basically in a desolated world and then you skip back into the past and kind of go back to where it was before as far as this plot line and story. So I'm kind of curious as far as the bobbing and weaving that's going to happen in this game and in the crazy narrative, even though it's not really spelled out because it's done so badly. So And Kevin, you could probably comment about the back and forth. I'm not sure what the twist is or if there is a twist. But
Well, the twist is that you're going to repeat a whole lot of levels.
You got it.
And they just kind of mix the enemies, and we're in a time warp. We changed something. Instead of Al Qaeda bots, we're fighting ants.
Yeah.
Instead of ants, we're fighting frogs. So that's how they get around the whole time loop thing. And then you will enter that base where you follow that dude around. I lost track of how many times I did that mission. So
got it.
So you can.
There's another new enemy type too. There's this armored aliens now. This big, gigantic armored aliens that I fought too. So
yeah, the Master Chiefs.
Yeah, the Master Chiefs. Yeah, but I love the fact that they think the frogs look like humans, but they're aliens in spacesuits. Oh, they don't look anything like us. So, love it. So that's been me for the last couple of weeks as far as games are concerned. I'm glad at least I finally fired up a console again. So
yeah,
between getting ready to go to PAX and then coming back from PAX, I just haven't had a ton of time. But Game Night kind of got me back onto my PS5 and playing some Earth Defense Force. So, Des, what you been up to? What you been playing?
Well, aside from playing, work and getting stuff taken care of and actually recovering from PAX is pretty crazy for me. I basically have just been really addicted to this game called Nightica, which is a auto battler where you have like a general, and then you unlock these different bug and flower nature type of units, and you place them on your board strategically, and they buff each other up. I've talked about this game before in a prior episode, but just the combinations that you can do and the replayability, because it's a roguelite, is just really, really fun. I can sit there and just play it for hours, going through different runs and seeing how different things work, and then and then you're working towards unlocks. You can unlock even more generals. So that's really, and because it's on my Switch, it's kind of on the go. I haven't really turned on my my console in a while. I'm hoping to turn it on after the show to get some play in. But yeah, it's really just been really kind of Nightica, and mostly because it's on my handheld, so I can lay in the bed, I can go to the bathroom, I can lay on the couch, and I can just play it and watch these battles play out. It's pretty gratifying seeing your troops buff each other up and then go in and demolish the enemies. And you think it get boring after a while, but I don't know. This is just like the core of what roguelites are. You kind of try something different and you go through and it always plays out differently. So that's pretty much honestly, that's all I've been playing. I bought a ton of games at PAX. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But I just haven't really wanted to just kind of sit anywhere, and play them, And again, most of it was just because I was super, super busy with work and, some other stuff that I had to do. So, but I'm really glad that you were able to, to play games, Joe and Kev, and really kind of like have some fun with that. That sounds pretty damn awesome. I mean, if you do it like this week is super crazy for me, so unfortunately I cannot I can't play it with you guys, but I will I'll probably be around for the next one. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun playing Nightica. And if you have it, I mean, you can get it on your PS5. You can definitely try it. But again, it might get boring for some folks if you get tired of running, the missions and setting up your troops and then watching them kind of fight. I could definitely understand how that kind of could probably get boring to some people. But for me, I'm enjoying it, having a blast. So, but that's pretty much all that I've been playing. So Kev, buddy, what have you been playing?
So what I would like to say is that I spent this weekend playing the Tokon Fighting Souls closed beta.
Oh, wow.
But unfortunately, PlayStation did me dirty and did not send me a code.
Aw.
So I was not able to play. And I don't know that they're going to have to do something with regards to. I don't know. This really just should have been just like a code registration thing. And, if you registered and within a certain time frame, just like every other code. But unfortunately, they tied this to their beta program. When I signed it, I was at Evo when they first announced it. In fact, me and EJ were in line to play Tokon. I think it was because our third or fourth time through, and they had announced while we were in line that the ability to register for the closed beta had just been opened up online. So you had to go in through your PlayStation app or go to the PSN on your browser and register that way. Well, there were just so many people in that less than optimal Wi-Fi. Cell signals were crowded, I'm sure. I thought I registered, but apparently I didn't because I never got a confirmation email.
Mm-hmm.
So I went back and I checked, and I was like, "Wait a minute, we're coming up here on this. We're coming up here on this time for the closed beta, and I don't see anything." So go in through the PlayStation app, and I find out that I am not registered for the beta, even though I did it while I was in line. So this whole thing was tied into signing up for the beta program. And the reason I never signed up for the beta program was because a lot of it is testing new firmware before it comes out, and I didn't want to have to go through the issue of something wrong bricking my console and having to go through all that rigmarole. So I that's why I never did it until Evo when they announced the closed beta. So I don't know, something got lost in the process. I know a lot of people didn't get in. I think there were some high profile FGC YouTubers that never got their confirmations. And most of them wound up getting like individual emails letting them in, but I'm part of what seems like a fairly large group of folks who just never got their confirmation. So they're going to have to work out the bugs with regards to that. I did, however, get in on the 2XKO beta, the upcoming beta. The downside is that it's PC only, so I guess I'll be playing it there at least until the game the game releases. But the beta is going to be active up until the official launch date. So it's not really a closed thing. It's like however many people can get in. Everyone that gets a code gets 3 codes to give away to other people. So if you got 3 friends, you'll be able to pass 3 individual codes on to them to allow them to get in to play. The bad news is that it's only on PC only, but I've one of my controller gets this Evo was a controller that can play on everything without the need of an adapter or a pass-through for firmware. So I'll still be able to play it. But as far as actual games, I've been playing Helldivers 2. They've got a new enemy. We're fighting the Hive Lord and the Dragon Roach. both of which are extremely difficult to kill. I don't have the right loadout in order to really fight them one-on-one. So I have to build out a particular war bond until I'm able to acquire those those equipment, particularly the warp pack. And it's a warp pack. Really, the warp pack is what's going to allow you to survive that when you're fighting alone. And I don't have that opened up yet, so I'm been working on trying to get the warp pack opened up. They also released some new stratagems. One is a single-use napalm bazooka, which is actually really good against the bugs. And they also released a personal nuclear silo, which pretty much kills everything in one shot, which I absolutely love. I haven't opened that one up, but I've been watching a lot of video about how that goes. But
well, that sounds fun.
Yeah. So Helldive, I participated in the game night, so played EDF. Also played a little bit of the new Shinobi game. It's very cool. It's very cool. It's I'm still kind of I'm waiting for the backtracking to begin because I know that there are places that I cannot get to that I'm sure at some point I'm going to have to go back to. So I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting for that shoe to drop. It hasn't dropped yet. But I like the skills that you have in this game. I like the story is actually a little bit more detailed and drawn out than you might expect. I mean, it's not Last of Us, but it's more in depth than you would expect from a Shinobi game. And it's kind of reminiscent of Ryu Hayabusa's story. It's like, how many times does Ryu's whole clan get wiped out and he has to take vengeance all by himself? Well, it's kind of like the same thing. So I don't know if they're kind of aping the Ninja Gaiden series a little bit in that, but the gameplay is on point. Different mechanics are in play that really allow you with skill to really maximize every enemy encounter. And I think that's really dope. But thoroughly enjoying that game. So I think even when the backtracking starts, I'm going to try to stick with it. I debated picking up Silk Song, but I decided against it because I know that game is nothing but backtracking, and that's just going to kill me. So that's really all I have been up to for my game playing. So we're moving into the main event because 2/3 of our hosts attended PAX West this year. So I don't know. I think I'll just open up to a round robin with you two and just go ahead and let us know what happened in your PAX West 2025 review.
Alrighty, so yeah, Joe and I went to PAX. We hadn't been there in about 2 years, and we just decided, hey, let's go because Joe wasn't able to go to Evo because I went to Gen Con. And I was like, all right, let's go to PAX and let's have some fun. And, because Joe and
I could have went to Evo if I wanted to, but I really decided against it. So,
yeah, I know you could have, but you didn't, and I was just like, I like going to PAX with you, and that we had a blast. So
yeah.
Joe, I'll let you start with how your PAX experience was for 2025.
It was a little bit different. I think us being veterans of going to PAX now, we pretty much got to Seattle. We knew, basically the hubbub as far as when we got to the SeaTac airport as far as how to get to downtown Seattle. So, if you have never been to Seattle, basically they have a particular rail system that you pay $3 one-way ticket, and you're pretty much waiting obviously for a while, but getting to downtown Seattle. And then Desmond had a really smart idea, even though it cost a little bit more money, but we wound up staying a little bit closer to the conventions. We wound up being about maybe a block and a half from the Summit Convention Center building downtown, and really close to the Arc as well. So years past, I remember, I think our first year we wound up staying way further from the convention center to where it was like a 15-minute walk. Ridiculous, to the convention. And then other couple times, it was basically up on a big ass hill. So it's like every time we walk back to the hotel, we're always like just having to huff and puff it after walking the con floor for the entire day. I think the last thing I want to do is walk up a freaking hill for a couple blocks to get to my hotel and crash on there. So I definitely, even though paying a little bit of more money,
it was well worth it.
Yeah, for sure. This is the first year that we decided to go in like really late on the Thursday before the con started on the Friday. So that was kind of interesting as well. I wouldn't deem it as a red eye. It wasn't an overnight flight or anything like that. But by the time
got in about 12:30.
Yeah, 12:30 a.m. Yeah. So
it wasn't bad.
There was a little mix up with the room. We wound up getting a room with like a queen bed, but we wound up scoring a nice corner room with a lot more space than what I was expecting. So
we didn't score it. We got the room we actually paid for. I was like, we get there, and it was late, and she just gave us like the one bed, and I was like, had to go back downstairs, and I was like, "Excuse me," and they're like, "Oh, so sorry," and then they completely fixed it. So it's just like, all right, cool. Yeah, and we just kind of went in and finished it up. So it wasn't it wasn't a big deal at all. And actually, the room that we got was fantastic. Huge bathroom, great shower. Yeah, the place was fantastic, and it was like Joe was saying, it was super close to where we were going, and the whole thing just felt fantastic. So I was super happy. So
yeah, that's something to where when we go, in future years, I'd probably want to go that way from here on out. So
yeah.
And as far as the show itself, we kind of started. When Friday, I scored us some warp pipe tickets for the Nintendo booth, and I decided to go ahead. Let's go ahead and we'll book an 11 a.m. Appointment for Kirby Air Ride, and then we'll do 12 o'clock for Pokemon Legends ZA on there. So yeah, we got in line at the Nintendo booth. We found where we needed to sit and wait. And lo and behold, at 11 o'clock, there was a bunch of other people in line. See, my impression of what a quote-unquote warp pipe is that I get to go and play the game I want to play. And I was under the impression, hey, I was going to play this game for an entire hour because our book time was from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. I had this thought in my mind, oh man, we're going to be playing Kirby Air Ride. We're going to have someone introducing the game for us. We don't have to wait in line. We'll be able to go there, blah, blah, blah.
We're VIPs up in here.
Yeah. I guess we need a media pass or something. We didn't register with the media pass for whatever reason. But yeah, once we got in line, it's like, hey, we're waiting in line for an hour to play Kirby Air Ride. In fact, me and Des, we did not watch the Kirby Air Ride Nintendo Direct special, but guess what? We were watching. We got seated and we're watching Sakurai describing all the gameplay elements of Kirby Air Ride. So
it took us about. So okay, real quick, just because over the first day. So you have to understand. The weekend before, I moved all of my comic books into storage. So, and I have like short boxes. So I have like 100 and damn near 50 short boxes that we moved into storage, right? Paul and me. And I took my, medication. I have a lower back problem, so I was totally fine. And that was great. Like I took my medicine, felt good, everything was fine. Saturday morning, I was stiff as a board. I could not, it was so painful to move my back and just to move around. And I was like, what the hell, right? So I was in pain. I have my medications, so I took some naproxen, I took some ibuprofen, and I was just woo. It was a day. Like taking a shower, putting on my clothes was just rough. So my pack started off with me being in immense pain, from my back, and it was just the worst. And then we go in, and so when I move around, it's not so bad because like I have sciatica, and I got all them old man diseases now, and I'm not even 50 yet. So anyway, we walk down there, and I'm like stiff as a board, and we go and we stand in there. And we stand there for an hour and a half, pretty much, is when we stand there, right? And the whole time, Joe's like, "Why am I standing in this line? I don't even like Kirby. I'm probably not even gonna buy this. Why am I standing in this line? We should just go." And I'm just looking at him, and I'm like, "Shut up." So I'm doing stretches on the wall, trying to stretch out my back, and we got this influencer next to us, all dressed up like a streamer, and she has her handler, and she's just like, "Oh my god, we're gonna do this!" She's dressed like a little Alita, and this guy is sitting there like, taking pictures of her while she's standing in line, and she's being all super cheerful, and I was like, "Shut up!" And we're standing there, right? And then they had 3 stations set up with the TVs, and they're like, "Oh, it's like a 15-minute, I can't remember the guy who created it. Joe probably knows his name.
Sakurai.
And yeah, Sakurai's gonna, he's gonna show you how to play the game. And so we finally get in and we sit down, and I'm like, thank the Lord I can sit down, right? And this thing starts, and like the game looks bananas. Everything about the game is just over the top. It's silly. It's just got so many mechanics in it. You thought like Mario Kart was like, oh my god, no, this is even crazier what you can do and what you're doing and everything. It's just crazy. And like his humor when he's talking to us, his humor is just so dry that he's like cracking me up about like, oh, I did this. I guess I'm too powerful. It's just like if you just have to watch it. It was hilarious. So we're sitting there, and so we have to watch this thing like loop almost 2.5 times before the people in front of us finally leave and we get to play the game. And I was like, we finally get to play the game. So after like 2.5 hours, first day, we're in there, and I'm just like,
2.5 hours. It was like an hour 15, dude. So
no, it was like 2 hours. You can't say it was like an hour and 15. No, that was like 2 hours.
We were able to make the Pokemon ZA appointment, even though we had the 12 to 1 appointment.
Because we were late. We were like 30 minutes late to that thing, and they said as long as you got a pass, you can go in. And the Pokemon thing was like super quick. It was weird though. Everyone had a pass, a warp pass to go to Kirby, but hardly anyone was interested in playing Pokemon. It was really interesting. And then they had like a standby line. And so you could actually go in if you didn't have or if you didn't show up, or people didn't show up for their warp passes. And they had your name, they had a QR code, so they were serious about it. But throughout the whole time we were there, the line for the Pokemon just did not get super long. And I just think I honestly think people just were not into. Either they were not feeling it, or they just weren't impressed with what they were seeing. But I don't know. I really feel that Pokemon has kind of lost a little bit of its, or maybe a lot of its shine now. I don't know.
Maybe it has to do with the demo length, because we spent a lot of time waiting for people that were playing Kirby Air Ride, and I know the person next to me was having connection issues too. So they had to basically reset every time that they got someone out of there to reset the demo to be able to get it to sync up with each other too.
Maybe.
So, and,
all I know is there wasn't a lot of people for Pokemon, and I was very surprised by that. So
yeah, because I think at first they were just taking Warp Pipe people only, and I think they maybe work through the line pretty quickly. I know I saw that line capped later on in the con as far as when they opened it up for everyone. So
okay, But yeah, I'd have to say out of those two games, the first two games that we played was those two, and I definitely have to say my money goes to Pokemon. It's a ZA. It's a the active battle system is back, and the way they're doing it is it's like this not underground. It's like this at after hours fight club that's going on where you fight in designated areas of the city, and like there's a reasoning why you do this, so that's kind of cool. But at the same time, like I thought the real-time battles was actually kind of fun, that it keeps you on your toes instead of being turn-based, and it moved fantastically on the Switch too. So I'm actually excited for Pokemon, and I honestly have to say, with no pretense, this is probably going to be a day one get for me. Like it just feels good. Like I haven't been excited for a Pokemon game in a long time, and this one actually feels pretty good. So yeah, we'll see.
The city kind of remind me a little bit of like a French inspired a little bit. So
definitely
on there,
definitely.
Yeah, and I took a little bit of time to get used to the active time battle for Pokemon. I'm just so used to it being just turn-based, and just, we've in the years past on this podcast kind of criticized Nintendo and Game Freak for kind of sticking too super close to the formula, and this is definitely something. I think the Legends series in particular, between Arceus and then this one, they're mixing it up a bit, so we'll definitely see. I'll probably be buying this day one as well. Maybe get some use out of my Switch too. So we'll see.
I'm sorry, you Switch hater. Switch hater.
Switch defender.
Hate. Anyway, what else we do, Joe?
After that, we kind of made our way over to the Bandai Namco booth, because it was like in that same general area here. So Desmond waited in line to play Pac-Man World 2 Repack.
No, remember I did that. I played that Toa game. We played that Toa game first.
Oh,
Toa
yeah,
and the Guardians.
Toa and the Guardians of the Sacred Tree. Yeah,
yeah. In order to, so they were given, they had these cards, and if you got a card, you could
win the game.
Win the game, and we didn't get it, and I mean, it's a fun little game. It's another roguelike type game, and you pick your characters as you're running through. So it looks great. I don't think it's going to set the world on fire at all, but it looked fun. And then I enjoyed it. Yeah, I played Pac-Man Repack because I wanted. They were giving away a tote bag, so I stayed in line for an hour for a tote bag. Can you believe that crap?
Well, you got in the line because I wanted to go play Digimon Story Time Stranger, and lo and behold, I went and did tons of other things at the Bandai Namco booth while you were in line waiting to play Pac-Man.
I was so annoying. I was sitting there like, and because they were running out of stuff, and so I was like, they better not run out of that damn tote bag. But honestly, after playing, because I didn't play the first one. We have it, but I bought it for Paul, and Paul's played it, but I've never played it. So when I played it this time, it's actually a pretty fun little platformer. I was like, okay. It's funny though, because it plays sort of like a Sonic thing, a Sonic game, 3D Sonic adventure game, because you jump up and you jump again, and then you do like this kind of like rolling ground pound. So it's very much like Sonic inspired. And then, there's these like floating pellets, and if you jump on a specific pellet, you can follow all of the different pellets and fly around. And some of the mechanics are kind of fun. It even has like a spin dash like Sonic, so they're definitely pulling off a Sonic style, and it was kind of fun. So even though I was there for to get the tote bag, the actual game is not that bad. Oh, and the tote bag came with some cup of noodles that we left for housekeeping when we left. We were like, you can. So we're like, here's your tip, some cup of noodles, enjoy.
Yeah, I mean, he offered to me, and it's like, nah, the sodium in cup of noodles. Unfortunately, I'm not going to put myself through 3 shades of like blood pressure just because the ramen always kills me for whatever reason. So So while I was waiting for Desmond, though, I entertained myself. I played Digimon Story Time Stranger, and I really was wowed by the game. So, after playing Pokemon Legends ZA, I really liked the mix-up with Pokemon Legends ZA with the formula of the turn-based combat. But Digimon Story basically was like the 4K HD Pokemon game I always been wanting for Nintendo to do, as far as just over the top, beautiful graphical, like anime inspired art style. Really, even though it's turn based, it was a good flow of the turn based as far as the back and forth. So it kind of gave me really good vibes of playing a modern Pokemon game brought into HD, for God's sake. So I am going to be there day one for Digimon Story. It's like, even though, you want to call Digimon as the Dollar Tree Pokemon or whatnot, or the the GoBots of the Transformers kind of thing, I still think from what I saw and what I played of Digimon Story that I actually enjoyed it quite a bit. So, what's your overall? Yeah, I mean, do you like Digimon, Des?
I never really got into it. Just never really got into it. I never really followed the story. I get the story. I just never really got into it. I thought it was a little bit overly convoluted. So
yeah,
but
we'll
hey, you like it? Cool.
Yeah, I mean, I was even tempted to see if I could see what Digimon games I have in my backlog. Maybe check out in the meantime. But what other games stuck out to you, Des? I mean, one thing I could say before kicking it over to you is that a lot of the booths were. I was expecting more like Microsoft, Ubisoft, PlayStation. Everyone was kind of not there from, because in the years past we've been there. We've seen PlayStation, we've seen Ubisoft, we've seen other companies. I found out that Devolver Digital was there, but the only game that they were displaying was that Starseeker Astroneer Expeditions game on there. That was actually
that was them?
That was them, yeah.
Oh, so, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, the Astroneer game is actually, because if you ever played Astroneer, it was more like a sandboxy, like kind of, I wouldn't say cozy, but it's like a space kind of simulator where you're just gathering resources, so on and so forth. But Starseeker Astroneer Expeditions is more of a 4-player co-op, like kind of multiplayer adventure where you're kind of going on adventures together in space. So on there, I also found out too that Square Enix was actually indeed there, because I saw some Dragon Quest 1 and 2 t-shirts on there, but there was basically they were in a closed area on there. They're only open for appointments, which kind of, after hearing about that, kind of frustrated me, because I would have loved to have gone to check out Dragon Quest 1 and 2, me being a particular big fan of the series and whatnot, So they were actually there, but they weren't. They were only open for appointments, and so, if there's one thing, if we had our business cards and everything there, that I might have done a Hail Mary and tried to do that. But there's a lot of other indies too. I wasn't expecting. You figure Yacht Club with Mina the Hollower coming out, they would have a booth. No, they didn't have a booth. So we kind of made the most of it, but it's just. The video game portion of PAX seemed like it was lessened a little bit from years past, just the number of exhibitors, at least for me. So
I would have to agree 100%. It was definitely a lot smaller. And how they did it this time was all of the tabletop games, the TTRPGs, tabletop role-playing games, all of the card games and stuff like that, they were all in the Summit building, and all of the seminars and presentations, they were all at the Summit building. The only thing at the Arch was the video games. So they had basically segmented the two buildings like that. And so if you were more into TTRPGs, you spent more of your time over in the summit, and if you're more into video games, you spent more time in the convention center and the archway. So I thought that was a pretty interesting way to do it, as now it feels like they are definitely becoming more 50-50 card and like board game TTRPGs and video games. So, and maybe that's just for the health of the for the more health for the convention. But I mean, I don't know. I didn't think it was good or bad about how they did it. It felt like just one area catered more to one than the other, and that's fine. And because I'm a person that likes both, I was spending time in both of them. Though, to be completely honest, we did spend a lot more time in the convention center for the video games, which is fine.
Because I remember going in 2023 that they did have video games in the ground floor.
Yes,
the basement for in the Summit building. I remember
they definitely did.
And so that was the year Nintendo did their own little side expedition little thing that we went to as well. So maybe because of the fact that they weren't taking as much space, also too, maybe had something to do with it as well. So.
Well, maybe. I do know that Nintendo and I want to say Hasbro or Magic the Gathering. Well, Nintendo had the most space. I mean, that's definitely they had two huge areas for their stuff, and like Magic the Gathering was the only card and board game that was on the floor where the other video games were. So that was pretty interesting that they put them there, because I don't know why they were there and not in the Summit building. So that was kind of interesting. Maybe they just didn't have a booth big enough for what Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro wanted to do. That's Magic the Gathering. But I did want to say that one of the things that I was disappointed about was it did feel like there were fewer just games in general. Even though it made up the same amount of space, it just felt like there was lesser representation than normal. It's funny, we complain about how cons like Comic-Con and New York City Comic-Con and all these different cons pack so many people in, and like the rows are really small. Well, the rows were really, really big at PAX, and you could just the halls felt a little bit more empty even on Saturday. And I've been to a lot of different conventions pre and post pandemic, and it just felt like there was just a lot less here. Marvelous was there, but they only had a very small booth, NIS America was there. They seemed sort of the same, from what they were, but their offerings were kind of, I don't know. And then everything on Sunday was on sale. Like they basically, everything went on sale on Sunday. It was just like, on Monday, they were just blowing shit out like left and right. And I was like, wow.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just felt like there was something a lot less than a normal year. But according to all other sources, attendance has been stable. So it's not like they're not having any more people or less people going. It just feels like the amount of publishers and the amount of people that are there is just getting a little bit smaller. Is all. I don't know.
Yeah. As far as the other games we played, I mean, I know for me, City Connection had a booth there, which is something that I never saw that they had a booth at PAX in years previous. I'm a little familiar with City Connection because they had a booth at TGS last year that we went to. And so we happened to play all the games in the booth to get a particular art card. But they had R-Type Delta HD available. We played Rushing Beat X, which is the Brawl Brothers. It's basically a sequel to Rival Turf, if you remember that game for SNES. on there. So we played that and, pretty much did what we needed to do to earn those art cards. I mean, what do you think of rushing BX, Des? I mean,
I thought it was fine.
I think it was a competent brawler, at least. I know Kevin is probably interested to see our impressions of that one. I think it might be something that I think you would like. I don't think it's like Streets of Rage 4 quality or anything.
It is definitely not Streets of Rage quality. Don't even put it.
Well, Rival Turf was never like a top tier beat 'em up to begin with.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, so it is not. So that was one of the things that I was like it was okay. Don't get me wrong. Like it was fine, but it was just kind of like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
It strikes me as being kind of in the vein as Vendetta. What is that? Kind of puts me in that.
Vigilante, you mean?
No, it's that. What's that one that the new one that's out? Well, it's relatively new. You got
Final Vendetta.
Final Vendetta, yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's the one from Bitmap Bureau. So so we actually checked out Bitmap Bureau's like beat 'em up because they're the ones doing the He-Man beat 'em up. So and that was at the limited run booth. So
yeah, we got to play He-Man. And that was actually a lot of fun. Like that was straight up Golden Axe. Like they completely even the guy was saying they were aping Golden Axe. So I was like, all right, and which is great. It looked great. It played great. You can play He-Man, Sorceress, Man-at-Arms, and Tila. And that was fun. Like I with what little I played, I was like, all right, this is cool. So
how come you can't play She-Ra?
Sorry, it was She-Ra. My bad. It was She-Ra, not Sorceress. It was She-Ra. Sorry.
It was a She-Ra. Was a She-Ra?
No, it was She-Ra. No, you're right. It was She-Ra.
By the time Masters of the Universe came out, I was 13. And I was like, look at this crap these kids are watching now. The He-Man, look at this crap.
Piff, right?
I was trying to be edgy at the time, So
yeah,
hating.
Okay. Yeah, I was hating. I was hating.
Oh,
I was interested in girls and bad heavy metal bands.
Yeah, greasy haired, pimple faced dork. Yeah, okay.
You got it. Well, NIS had some decent games too. So both me and Des played R-Type Tactics 1 and 2 Cosmos on here. I thought the game was
so weird.
I think it was weird, kind of slow as far as the tactics.
Slow as hell.
Yeah.
Slow.
Every damn movie made, you had to watch this damn loading screen and the ship moving like, ooh, like
So they turned R-Type into a tactics game.
Yeah,
yes, they did.
Oh my god!
It's not the first.
Exciting as watching paint dry.
It was. I was like, man, this is taking forever. And I was like, why is it going so slow? What is going on with this? Yeah, it was. It was. I got my magnet though.
Get your swag.
I got my swag, so I was happy.
I laughed because after I went to the NIS America booth, they ran out of stuff to give away. So they had this wheel you would spin, and all it said on the wheel was magnet. And they were giving away the R-Type Tactics 1 and 2 Cosmos magnets. Yeah. So,
they ran
guess
out
what
stuff.
You won? It's like, you spinning the wheel. Guess what you win? And there's a blank space. You get a magnet. So it's like,
yeah, like any roll, no matter what, you got a magnet.
Other games at the NIS America booth, they introduced a new turn-based RPG called Starbites. I actually thought was pretty entertaining on there. So it's from a Korean developer that they're publishing the game for on there. I went to a panel actually that was NIS America had a couple of panels that basically were like, oh, let's talk about strategy RPGs. Oh, wait, let's talk about the Sky of 7 for like 45 minutes. So, and I went to the turn-based RPG with some influencers there. And of course, they didn't really talk about turn-based RPGs. They talked about Starbites for the entirety of the time on there. So I just love that these bait and switch panels and that kind of thing. So, but I did enjoy what I played as Starbites. The graphic, it's turn-based with mechs, but the gameplay was pretty snappy, not like R-Type. So And then I played Ys 10 Proud Nordics, which is the enhanced version of the Ys 10 Nordics that's coming out for both, I think, Switch 2 and PC. Played really well. Inspired me to go through my backlog and play Ys 10 Nordics for my own, and not buy the sequel with 2 enhancements for $60. So I don't need it for my Switch 2, thank you. So Switch hater.
Yeah, Nordics is actually pretty good. I played the demo that dropped on it. It wasn't too bad.
And then for me, I played Double Dragon Arise at the Arc System Works booth. So, and to me, it was okay. The Billy and Jimmy kind of look CG-ified a little bit. You know, I know, Kev, you're going to buy this for the dodgeball portion of it, but I think Double Dragon Arise and Russian Beat X, Return of Brawl Brothers, Rival Turf, A Go-Go probably had about the same quality to them. So. I don't know if there's any other games you want to mention, Des, that you played above and beyond.
The only game that I really wanted to say that I played was we played. What was that one game we played? Oh my god, I'm trying to think of it. I'm drawing a blank. I'll think about it in a minute.
Okay. Well, another thing that was amusing too is that we went to GameSir had a booth there as well. GameSir is a controller manufacturer that manufactures and brings out quite a number of different third-party controllers on here. So, you know, I saw it. I was kind of interested because, you know, I'm a little bit of a controller collector and or user on
controller
there.
nut.
So, controller nut, you got it. But after going to that booth, we found out, hey, guess what? We're giving away controllers at 1:30. Why don't you come back tomorrow?
Oh, so, this thing.
Yeah. Oh. So, yeah, we showed up at close to 1:30 on Saturday, and I was got in the line, but I was kind of in the back. I wound up winning a Supernova controller from GameSir, but it was a controller I already had. I already bought, about a couple months prior.
They were giving it away. There was the first 100 people. The first 100 people would get a free controller, and it was a random controller from whatever they were giving away. So that's what it was. And it was hilarious because the first time that we did it, they said, okay, we're going to start it at 2:00. It was always, we're going to do it at 2:00. We're always going to do it at 2:00. First time they did it, they lied. It was 1:30. And I was like, what the hell, man? So, you know, I was in the bathroom, you know, and I get this crazy message from Joe. They're giving shit away. And I'm like, well, I don't know what to do. So I'm like, well, I'm not going to rush, right? I get back there. And Joe's still on the line and thinking, oh, great. You know, I didn't miss it, right? And Joe, but I look at Joe's hand and he got back in line to get one for me because he already had one. And sure enough, they'd already given it away that day. And so we're like, okay. So the next day we get there, we're asking, it's like, oh, you know, get here a little early, you know, it's fine. So the next day we get there, and that was the day that I stayed in bed a little bit because my back was acting up, and so I stayed a little later, and then I got up and I met up with Joe later, and so I'm standing there, and I'm walking up to it about 1:15. And they'd already started giving the shit away again. And I'm like, what the hell? So I run over and try to get into the line. And by the time I get there, it's already gone. And Joe's like, what? So it was just annoying, right? And so the next day, the last day, everyone is kind of crowding around the booth. And they have this little pink area where you're supposed to stand in, which is the line, right? And it was basically, if you got around to the other side of the booth, you weren't going to get it, right? You weren't going to get one. And so everyone was kind of crowded towards the front. And
people were covering like vultures. They were like,
yes.
Vultures.
And there was this one guy, and they kept saying, everybody disperse, you can't be here. That one old guy was not moving. And there was this other black lady who was just she had her kids, and they were not moving either. And I was like, damn. And she had been there a couple other times I'd seen her. So I was like, okay, so she ain't going nowhere. And so we're standing there, And then, sure enough, like 1:15 hits. They say, "Okay, get in line." Everyone rushed for the line and got into the line, right? So we were there. We were there. We were in the line. We got it right. And they kept saying, you have to get in a single file line. No one's listening. Single file line. No one cared. So like, okay, you have to take a picture of the booth and then post it on your socials. And we're like, okay, whatever. So we all did that. So we waited, and then again, just like clockwork, 1:30 hits, and they start giving stuff away. And so I was able to get a controller, and so was Joe. Guess what, though?
What?
It's the same controller that Joe got the day before. So we got 3 of the same controller.
Yeah. Granted, it's a good controller. I bought it.
It was hilarious. Joe's all like, Joe's looking at people. Just you could see Joe's eyes too, just gleaming because he saw people with the controller he wanted. He's like, and I'm like, well, just see if they want to trade. He's like, nah, I'll just buy the damn thing. Well, it was pretty funny, and I was like, all right. So he gave me the first one because you could use it on Switch or you can use it for your PC. So I ended up getting 2 controllers for my Switch. So I was super happy. I was like, so.
Yeah,
it's a joke Switch, the other one. So
yeah, so I mean, I have 2 Supernova controllers, which is cool by me. So
it's pretty funny. Oh, and then they started giving away shirts the last day. No one stayed to get a shirt. They're like F off with your damn shirt.
Game
so that was pretty funny.
They have a rooster as their logo. So.
Yeah. That's pretty funny. Like that day was funny. That Monday was pretty funny because my back had stopped hurting a little bit. Like it was still tingy, but it wasn't definitely as hurting as bad as it was. So I was able to find the humor in that because that was pretty silly.
And me and Des usually we do some booth shenanigans stuff. Like 2023, we hovered around Marvelous and won a bunch of stuff at Marvelous's booth. And so we decided this year to go and do the Lenovo booth to win stuff, So Lenovo had this
a laptop.
A laptop, but they had this big ass convoluted idea as far as how to. Yeah, it was really bad. It's like you had to enroll in their website and then go from kiosk to get these pins, and when you got the pins, you scan this QR code to register your username, and you'd have to only do up to 3 to get into the 3:00 drawing, and then make sure to get a couple more to get into the grand master prize to get the laptop at 5. And lo and behold, we didn't win anything. And Monday we decided not to even go through the hoops because to me it was like
the person that won. It was funny because the person who won the laptop, because you could put whatever name in you wanted, but they said don't put in an offensive name because we probably won't get picked. And so the person who won was like, "Not today, Satan," and I thought that was hilarious. And the guy's reading, "Okay, so the winner is, not today, Satan." And everyone at the booth cracks up. It's pretty funny. So, but yeah, it was. I mean, all in all, aside from my back, getting tweaked and acting up, I had a fantastic time at PAX this year. I got to play a couple of, I got to play our demo, the One Piece trading card game. It was fun. It was another Bandai game. It was fun. I got to get a couple of board games. I'm a board game person. I got to play board games, and I got a crap ton of games. Crap ton of games from for the Switch. So I was happy about that. I got a couple of games for the PlayStation 5, and it was funny. So one of the reasons why I was going to call, or Joe adopted the name, PS2 hater, is because
Switch hater. You mean?
Sorry, Switch 2 hater. Sorry, Switch 2 hater is he went to Pink Gorilla and he saw the Fantasy Life 2, the girl from I or something.
Yeah, Fantasy Life I.
Yeah. He found that game, but it was for Switch 2. And he was like, "Well, I'm not going to buy it for Switch 2 and blah, 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 blah." And I said, and he told me, so he left it. And I was like, "Oh," he's like, I have it for Switch, for PS5. and I would have switched it with you. And he was just like, oh, really? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, oh. He goes back, it's gone. I was like, you son of a... And so now for the rest of the time, he was going back to Pink Gorilla with that puppy dog face, looking to see if they've restocked and he got it. He was like, I was like, see? That's what you get. That's what you get. Nintendo don't like ugly. There you go. So that's pretty funny. So that made me laugh.
Whatever. I don't need the game. It's in my backlog anyway.
I don't need the game. Yeah, I don't need it.
I managed to drag Desmond out to a panel too. We went to go to the double Nintendo.
We went to a bunch of panels, sir. I went to a bunch of panels. You even went to the panel that I went to. You went to the panel that I went to. You went to the Magic the Gathering Spider-Man panel, and we even got an exclusive card and comic book. So that was great. We had fun at these panels. Some of them were better than others.
We went to an evening panel, so that's why I should make the distinction, because they do have panels up until 10 o'clock at night. So I know, Des, you're kind of like a little bit reluctant maybe to go out for this double Nintendo panel.
No, not that one. No, that one. Remember, that was Saturday? Was it Sunday? That was Sunday night.
Yeah, it was Sunday night, yeah.
Saturday night, I zonked out. Both of us zonked out. We didn't do anything that night. And then Sunday night, we went out and we went to the Nintendo, and it was
Double Dare inspired like trivia show.
And gameplay from Nintendo. But they did that guy dirty, though, the host. I guess there was he only had an hour. Well, he should have known better. He only had an hour time slot for a 90-minute presentation, a 90-minute show. And he didn't truncate it or do anything or make it according or like make it work within the time frame that he was given. Plus he was having computer difficulties and audio issues. So I was like, you got to be able to pivot. And they were like, like right when it got to 9 o'clock, they were like, no, we're done. You're done, sir. You're done.
You done, son?
They were like,
we're gonna reach into the finale where they're gonna do a Mario Maker 2 course between the two teams, and we
shut it down.
Shut it
down on him. So I felt bad for that guy.
Poor Kurt Dog.
Yeah, Kurt Dog.
Kurt Dog. No.
Kurt Dog from the Pacific Northwest. He's from Seattle. Roland Rainier with Sir Mix-a-Lot. So
yeah.
But no, I mean, PAX. All in all, PAX was pretty fun. I enjoyed my time there. I enjoyed running around with Joe. And like I said, I bought a bunch of games for my Switch collection, so I was super happy about that.
I got to watch Desmond. I lived vicariously through your purchasing. So
yeah, he was all licking his lips when I was packing up to go because he was like, "Oh, you got that? Ooh, oh, you got that?" Ooh. And I was like, "Joe, calm down." I was like, "Sorry,
I bought 3 games. That's it. Ooh. One of the games I bought because of the fact, and Desmond corrected me. You bought that game in Japan, didn't you? It's like, yeah, I did.
Oh, you did. I remember that.
I totally forgot about it.
Yeah, it was Front Mission 2.
Yeah, I bought Front Mission 2 at the limited run booth, thinking, let me score this one for my collection. Oh, wait, I already have it.
I'm
so
like,
I wound up
walking away, and I'm like, did you buy that in Japan? Because I bought mine in Japan. I bought both of them in Japan when we were there, and he was just like, oh shit, I did. I'm like, what? So you had to go and exchange it for something else. That was pretty sick.
This is the reason why I don't need to be buying anything else. I wanted to I exchanged it for a Freedom Planet 2, the like anthropomorphic like Sonic like kind of clone with a bunch of different Sonic like animals running to play a Sonic type game, and it's like, I would not.
Which annoyed me
for $40 for that game.
Well, no, we played that game. We played that game 2 years ago at PAX.
At Marvelous,
at Marvelous. So then when I saw him buy it, I was like, I wanted to, so I bought it too. So
more the merrier.
One thing we should not you and I should not go shopping together because we are both insane when it comes to stuff like that. So
yeah, I know. Give me back the Akihabara and Yodobashi camera, and like, oh boy, I'll go in full credit card meltdown, buying stuff like like what was that game that the Kev that you love, the one that we talked about on the show previously, Dustborn. So I bought Dustborn in Japan. So
wow,
he'd be freak on a leash, off a leash. But overall, it was fun. You know, I can't complain. I had a really good time, and it's I really enjoyed it. What?
We didn't wander to do anything else in Seattle, which we pretty much just dedicated our entire time towards PAX. So,
which is fine. Like, it was fine. I totally. I mean, given the fact that if my back hadn't been busted up, I probably would have been a lot more amicable about doing stuff in the evening. But by the time we had walked the hall and everything, you know, my dogs was barking and my lower back was killing me, so it was just time to rest. So, but my hope is that when we go next time. Say that again? A rack brace?
A back brace? Oh.
No, I don't, but I need to get one. You know, that was.
I wore mine at Evo, and it was a godsend.
See, that's you're 100% right, my friend. I need to get one. So, but that's all I have for my PAX experience. You got anything else, Kev? Before we move on,
I didn't go to PAX.
Joe. Sorry, Joe.
No, I don't have anything else to add. I enjoyed myself. Special shout out to the Midnight Cookie Company. You know.
Oh yes,
they kept me locked down.
Yeah, they kept him fed. Yeah. He loves them cookies. So
yeah,
but it was good. So for our next main event, we do have an actual question given to us by our community. So Goonie on our Discord wrote, considering how many people jumped into Silksong without playing Hollow Knight and are now coming to terms with how hard the game is, what is some of the most difficult games you guys have beaten? And what games have you played that surprised you with their difficulty? So this is the question that we are going to be answering on our next episode 290. And if you would like to answer this question, please feel free to do that. You can do that in the comments section if you're watching this on YouTube, or you can join our Discord and answer in our Discord. If you want to learn how to join our Discord, please wait till the end of the show, and Kev will tell you how to do that. But you know what follows me. It's the Jabroni Gaming News.
All right, thank you, Des.
You're welcome, sir.
All right, so first news topic on the docket for this episode. Both Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 3 and Kingdom Hearts 4 development is, quote-unquote, progressing smoothly, according to Tetsuro Nomura on here. So they did not basically indicate as far as any particular release dates, but this was stated on a Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis 2 anniversary broadcast. Basically, I'm seeing people ask every so often about the third entry in the Final Fantasy VII Remake series, Nomura said. Apparently, Toriyama mentioned in the interview that something might be released around the second anniversary of Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis, but so that's probably where those expectations are coming from right now. So things are progressing really smoothly. I can't really say more. If I suddenly went, well, actually, everyone would be really surprised. So he's basically stating that the release timing has already been decided and that they're moving forward according to that schedule right now. So please rest assured and be patient on there. So we'll have to see, if any smoke comes out of both the Kingdom Hearts and the Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 3, games coming up. Wouldn't you probably get your opinion on this, Kev? You think that they'll probably wait until they release Part 2 for Switch 2 prior to even thinking about bringing out Part 3? And they'll probably do day and date on both Switch 2 and also on PlayStation, I'm assuming so.
I would imagine they would want to do that.
Yeah, maybe even Xbox, God forbid. So.
They ain't putting nothing on Xbox day and
I don't think so.
They already tried that Final Fantasy 16, and they only sold somewhere between 12 and 15,000 copies. So it wasn't even worth the port. So
I guess they could put it on Game Pass if they really wanted to. Like,
they ain't gonna put it on Game Pass. Get out of here.
I mean, is Phil really gonna? We already know that Phil is reluctant to put a whole lot of zeros on that check for AAA games. And
yeah, they rinse and repeat like prior games in their catalog that dropped out and coming back. Hey, guess what? More Yakuza.
Yeah. So I'm thinking not, but they're going to release these games in a way where they can maximize their earning potential. I know that there was some concern about how much was earned with the last one that they put out. I have it. I started playing it, but I put it down for some reason. It didn't have anything to do with the game. It had to do with mostly that's other stuff that was going on, so it cut into my game time. So at some point I need to pick up the second part of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I need to jump back into Rebirth and complete that game. I think they're fantastic games. I think, though, that a lot of people are still begrudging the fact that these games are not turn-based like the originals were. And I don't know. I'm okay with that. Their earning potential with regard to how much it costs to produce them, they're going to want to release these games in a way that's going to just maximize that, because I think there is that group of gamers that are opining the fact that it's not turn based. I think the second game, Rebirth, I think they lost a few more people because of that. And I don't really know what they expected, but that was like a big talking point in a lot of the gaming spaces, was like, oh, it's not turn-based. It's like, well, it's kind of turn-based if you want to use the I forget what they call it, the active combat system or something combat system. It's kind of like that, where it slows time down really slow and it gives you time to plan and plot. When I play these games, I do a mix of both. But, I think a lot of people maybe don't like change.
Yeah, for sure.
I would agree 100%.
Just like some people criticizing Pokemon Legends ZA basically not being turn-based too, so same thing. So
yeah.
Well, we'll see what happens. I think all of three of us probably don't care about Kingdom Hearts 4. I mean, I've never played Kingdom Hearts proper even once. I think I dabbled with the first game, but maybe it's something I'll take a look at. I'm not a big Disney
I played the first one. I played the first one. I finished the first one, and I played the second one. I never went back for any of the other versions. I think it's okay, but I'm just not that much into Disney that I want to dedicate multiple hours in an RPG around Disney characters. I think that's what it came down for me. What it came down to for me. I appreciate what it is, and I definitely understand the fan base behind it. I'm just not really a Disney guy. So
yeah, it never appealed to me. Number one,
Yeah.
and after the fact, it just seemed like it got too convoluted and everything. So I'm sure it's a great game and people love it, but I just was like, it just never appealed to me. So
yeah,
nothing against
it.
Maybe I'll give it a shot. I do have it in my backlog along with everything else. So, but all
there
right,
you go.
Next thing I want to talk about, Starfield has marked its 2-year anniversary.
Well, congratulations, Starfield.
Yes, and they did a teaser message, a secret message, and it's only about 12 seconds long. But halfway through the teaser, the music and visuals are interrupted, and the black-blue palette is replaced by a yellow and brown palette. And we see snippets of black text and a secret message. So So basically, what its secret message stated is that the DLC 2 for Starfield 2 is going to be entitled Terran Armada on there. So we'll have to see what's up with Starfield. Some people were talking about, especially with this second DLC, that Starfield might be on its quote-unquote redemption path, just like No Man's Sky did and other games where they kind of circled back and made the game better and or fun in this instance on here.
Yeah.
There's also rumors that with this second DLC that the PlayStation 5 and possibly a Switch 2 version of the game will come out as well. So, it's kind of rumored to be coming out like in the spring of 2026. And so I was going to point out this to you, Des, as far as if this kind of game, if this DLC turns around Starfield, is this something you might give it a shot, especially coming out for either Switch 2 and or PS5?
I mean, Copium is a thing, and it springs eternal. So
yeah, I know.
Like, hey, if you want it to be better, cool, I'll take a shot at it. Like, I have no problems. I just thought the game was boring. So, if they're able to course correct and give us a better, more entertaining game, then sure, I'll try it. I have no ill will towards Bethesda or Xbox at all. I just when I played it, it was not good. Granted, my experience was definitely sullied because I was playing on the potato, but if I'm playing on my PlayStation 5, then it should be better, and then cool. I'm not paying full price for it. That's for damn sure. So if they're gonna put it on PlayStation, then and it's at a reasonable price, then yeah, I'll take a look at it.
There's $60 with both DLCs. Yeah.
No. I got it like $49 both DLCs. Maybe, but no, I can't go more than that.
For me, it's like, I'll see what other people are saying about it, but there's so many damn No Man's Skies updates that have come out since then that re-engineered that game where, it's like, if I want to play some space exploration game, guess what? I have a space exploration to go play, so.
Yeah, and it's better, so.
Yeah. And I'm sure, Kev, that you have no interest in Starfield or Bethesda in any sort of way, right?
I mean, not really. Bethesda games have, outside of Fallout, really don't appeal to me that much. And I tried Starfield on Game Pass. I didn't like that game at all. They have their work cut out for them because the game that was promised was not the game that was delivered. It was also one of the games that got caught up in this anti-woke stuff. So there's that going on with it. And I think the thing that's so bad is that Starfield was just not an entertaining game. So all this other, peripheral nonsense that came out surrounding the game. Oh, well, there's pronouns when I create my character. It's like, dude, so what? I don't. If that is your biggest concern about Starfield, then you're not a gamer. I'm sorry. There were so many other issues with Starfield.
Yeah.
From not actually being able to land on the planets to the NPC designs, all the faces looking like they were from the Children of the Corn, to the poor dialogue choices, the poor voice acting that was in that game, the kind of very non-fun game gunplay involved. There's so many other aspects of that game to be pissed off about, but you gonna get bent out of shape over pronouns in the character select. Okay, and that whole outcry when it was surrounded by a game that did not deliver as promised just carried so much negativity into the general gaming populace that I don't know. I don't know if they're going to be able to recover, because it's going to require a substantial, pretty much a rebuild of this game. And I don't know, given that they're under Microsoft's ownership, if they're going to get the funds to really do that game the justice that that the fans of this game that were actually looking forward to it deserve. I'll put it that way.
All right. Well, other news, we want to talk about another game that might be not meeting its expectations, but it hasn't come out yet, mind you, is Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2. So if you haven't been following the hubbub about this game, the premium edition basically is they gatekeeped some of the character classes, the clans in the game. So basically, when they put this game up for pre-order, the premium edition had 2 of the 6 playable clans in the game behind a paywall, meaning that you'd have to buy the premium edition to be able to play the 2 clans that were developed basically for the particular title. So it came in the Shadows and Silk content pack. So there was a lot of displeased gamers out there that were looking forward to this game. And what they wound up doing is they wound up refunding anyone that pre-ordered the premium edition on PSN. And they're going to release more additional details coming up on the 17th of September on here. I guess what happened was that if you haven't been following this game had a very, very construed development process. So like the original team that was working on this game was fired, I believe, on there, and they got picked up by another developer that worked on the game and finished it. But they basically, these 2 additional clans were something that were considered as outside the original development of the game, that they were going to include it as separate DLC. But obviously, character classes especially, if you know that the character classes exist, it's like buying an action RPG like Diablo, where you know that they've already developed a couple of additional character classes, but you have to pay extra money to get access to them. It's like, come on, what's going on with that? So Des, I know you've been following this game a little bit. I know you're a fan of Vampire the Masquerade. So you have any more details on this, as far as if you think this is a good move for Paradox?
Well, it's definitely a bad move for Paradox. They should not be doing that. They're putting 2 of the actual clans behind a paywall. That's dumb. I think anything, if anything, it should have been, if you're going to do anything with it should have been cosmetics or something like that. But to actually gate actual content and special powers and special abilities, special dialogue like that is just egregious. And once I found that out, I was like, no, there's no way I'm buying this game. Number one. Number 2 is how. Go on. I'm sorry. You're gonna say something?
Oh, they're basically backing down from their previous decision, so they are going to be announcing on September 17th to include both of these character classes in the regular game. So
okay, well, until they do that, I'm not buying it. Okay, number 2, it doesn't feel like a vampire game. It feels like an action RPG where they slapped Bloodlines onto it. It doesn't feel like there's any kind of role playing or anything. You play as the Nomad, who has this really generic sounding name called Fire, because when he awoke from his long slumber, his torpor, he saw this shitty band named Fire, and that's what his name is. And he has this gumshoe detective in his head that is playing as a narrator that is explaining, giving exposition to everybody. So it doesn't feel like you are learning anything as a player through actually playing the game if you have someone telling you what's going on. I was just very disappointed with with the game, and what it's looking like. It looks like that game Vampire. It almost feels like that game Vampire that came out, VYMPRE or whatever. It's like that game, but with better graphics because
Vampire.
of how they Vampire. Thank you. About how they decided to implement it. And in that aspect, I'm really kind of like disappointed because I missed out on the original Bloodlines. Everyone says it's fantastic. I missed out on that. And so I was really looking forward to playing this game as sort of like, not second coming, but like of me experiencing that I missed before. And it really does not feel like this. So if they're going to drop that like they say they are, that goes a long way for building consumer trust with the player base, but I still think people are not going to buy it. If I see it on a sale digitally on the PSN storefront and it's like half off, 75% off, I will probably buy it then and play it, but I'm not buying it day one. It's just not the game that I thought it was, and it's not the game, honestly, that I want. Hopefully, when I end up buying it, I am surprised. But at this point, I can wait for that surprise.
Yeah, I know one of the character classes they're saying that was locked previously behind a paywall is called Toreador, which is it's basically the iconic archetype of vampires as seductive, sexy beings on there. So for them to put that behind the paywall, that's just egregious, man. That's egregious.
Yeah. So I was just annoyed. So.
All right. And do have some release dates and some also announcements to kind of talk about to round out the news. So Tokyo Extreme Racer, it's going to finally get out of early access. It's going to launch on September 25th on Steam for $49.99. On here, if you do want to play Tokyo Extreme Racer, it is available still in early access on Steam at the moment. I believe the early access price is $29.99. I did get a chance to play this game a little bit at PAX. They did have a booth for Tokyo Extreme Racer. So if you're not familiar, this is from a developer called Genki on here, and they're kind of old school because Tokyo Extreme Racer was on the Dreamcast to begin with, if you remember that. I think did you play that game, Kev, or not? You remember?
I don't think I played that one.
Yeah. So if you were wanting to go back to like maybe some like a Ridge Racer type of arcade action, as far as arcade racing action, that a lot of drifting, so on and so forth. This game kind of scratches that itch on there. So, and a lot of the cars in the game are based on actual Japanese cars, so it's not like Ridge Racer where you can fictional livery of nothing but made up cars if need be. These are all Toyota, Nissan, Honda, so on and so forth, like actual race cars if need be.
Meet.
Yep. So I'm definitely interested. I think I'm going to go ahead and grab the early access so I could actually give this a shot once it does fully release. And try to pick it up for the cheaper price if need be. So keep an eye on it and maybe see if I'll talk about it in my playlist coming up. So they announced a remake. Publisher 505 Games and developer Infinity Plus 2 have announced a remake of Puzzle Quest. So Puzzle Quest Immortal Edition is the definitive edition of the classic Match 3 puzzle game. So back in the day, I played plenty of Puzzle Quest. Enjoyed it quite a bit. So it's coming out on September 18th. It's coming out for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. You can basically play it on a freaking potato, so on there. But to be able to go back to this game, I'm actually pretty excited. I don't know about you, Des. I know you played quite a bit of Puzzle Quest as well in the past, so...
Put me on the spot with my puzzle games. Yeah, I did, and I loved it. I played Puzzle Quest. I played Puzzle Galaxy or whatever. I played the fantasy one. I played the
Marvel one.
The Marvel one. I played the one that was in space. Yeah, I played them all. I just love those Match 3 games, and this one especially. It was just really fun. There's actually a free one that is on the PlayStation PSN that's free, and I play it every so often because it's just great to match 3. I don't know. It's just the gameplay is silly, and the gameplay is like fun, and it's it's a good time waster. It's classic. Like match 3 is like the classic time wasting game that you would play on your computer or on your phone, and yeah, and I think the Puzzle Quest folks were some of the best ones to do it. So I'm here for it.
Yeah, I'll check it out. I'm not sure what the price is yet. I just checked the Steam page. They don't have a price established for it yet, but we'll see. I'm pretty sure it's not exactly going to break the bank. So, all right. Also, too, PlayStation had a little digital event for 007 First Light. So it's coming out on March 27th, 2026. So IO Interactive is bringing out all the steps on here. So did you either of you two get a chance to watch the showcase for the game? I know it's like about 35 minutes long, I believe, right?
I did not. I did not. I did not get all into the hoopla of GoldenEye or any of those games. So for me, it's not nostalgia for me. It's not pulling at any strings or anything. So it just never appealed to me. So I didn't really, yeah. So
yeah, I watched it.
What'd you think of it?
If it's more Uncharted than Metal Gear, I'll probably play it. A lot of because me and Stealth do not get along. The fact that this game is made by the same folks that do the Hitman series, and in fact, I think that first level, folks were saying that we're making comparisons, saying it was pulled directly from one of the more recent Hitman games. I don't like Hitman because it's stealth, and I just can't. Me and stealth mix like oil and water. So if it plays more like Uncharted, because I just kind of want to go in and kill everybody and blow everything up, if I can play that way throughout the game, then I'm interested. But if I have to go in and find some dude to drug him and take his outfit, and they really, I wish they would have done a better job of giving you a prime example of what a stealth mission in that game is going to look like. Because if it's Hitman stealth, I'm out. If it's, you try to sneak around, somebody sees you, you take them out, and then it's just, I'm killing everybody, then okay, I'm in. If it's one of those games, then I'm in. I kind of like the vibe that they were going with, kind of like this Uncharted Hitman mixture. But if there's too much Hitman in the mix, I'll be passing, because me and sneaking in video games just don't get along.
One thing that would kind of maybe put the whipped cream and cherry on top for you, Des, that's coming out for Switch 2 too, and it's going to get a physical release. So it's going to be a game key card, though. So
that's terrible.
I know. And just for you crazy ass collectors out there, they do have a legacy edition of this game. So you get a Golden Gun figurine, a James Bond Golden Gun figurine, and a steelbook case for the hot price of $299.99. So limited edition for $300 for a Golden Gun replica. You get 5 Golden Gun bullets and a Golden Gun, and it looks like a Golden Gun, like a something you load into a gun as well. So yeah, I'll be passing on the legacy edition of this game. So $300. Is it because of all the terrorists? That's not making me holler. No,
does not make you holler at all, huh?
No. So, all right, and then last but not least, last thing to talk about before we end the gaming news. do have a game of an anime that Kev kind of likes, and we're going to see if I'm going to check it out. So Solo Leveling Rise Overdrive in capital letters, mind you, is launching on November 17th for PC and in 2026 for PS5 and Xbox Series. So it looks like it's being developed by a company called Marble Neo. Sounds like a wonderful mobile publisher of some sort.
It probably is.
Yes, the deluxe edition of the game is going to be available for $44.99. The actual game's coming out for $39.99. On here, there is a bunch of unlocks and emojis and whatnot. So, and we'll take a look to see what type of game this is. They said talking about narrative depth and so on and so forth. Does this game need to be an action game, Kev, or what would be your ideal solo leveling video game? Obviously, I'm grateful that Namco Bandai didn't get a hold of it because they would make another Arena Fighter to kill us all. So,
I mean, it would have to be. I could see this being a Devil May Cry type game, but I'm not playing. I'm not buying this. It's mobile slop. I don't care. It's going to all be about collecting skins and collecting emojis, and it's like I already smell the funk of mobile on this. I haven't even seen the trailer, but it's just like, the Spidey sense is going off on this, and I don't know if this game makes money, then maybe they'll do an actual video game around it. That's something that I can get behind, but because I think solo leveling deserves a AAA action game. It's one of the best newer, I guess. Well, I don't know if you call it a manhwa or an anime. I don't know.
Is it Korean?
Yeah,
Korean.
It's Korean.
Yeah, then it's a manhwa.
Manhwa. Okay. It's one of the best Asian.
There you go.
Animated features I've seen in a long time, and that's saying a lot because there's a lot of great stuff out there, and in my opinion, it ranks amongst the top. So it deserves a high quality action game. Like an Arc Sys Works treatment level action game. So I don't know, but I doubt. I haven't even seen the trailer. I doubt I'm going to see anything in it that's going to make me want to get it. I just think this is
that reminds me of
coming to iOS.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
It might be decent. We'll see. I'm watching the trailer right now while you were talking. It's like, oh, this looks like Genshin Impact, basically. It looks like gacha with no gacha. They're just getting you by making you pay $40 up front. So.
Yeah, well, even that, I thought Genshin Impact was super shallow, and that's not going to grab my attention either.
Yeah.
Even if it's not a keep you coming back for skins and characters and all that other stuff. Yeah, I need some meat. I need some meat on that bone.
Maybe I'll have to check out Lost Soul Aside instead. Let's see what that.
Yeah, you're probably better off with Lost Soul Aside than this, although this game will probably look better than Lost Soul Aside. But I don't know. I'm waiting until Lost Soul Aside goes on sale before I get it.
There's that demo. They just released a demo for it, so
yeah, I know. Yeah,
check it out. But that is the Jabroni Gaming News for this episode.
All right, game night. So we want to, as we mentioned earlier, we're trying to be more frequent in our game nights. Jabroni mentioned how he set one up for Thursday. But we will be posting our game night announcements in both our Blue Sky account as well as our Discord. So you might be asking, well, how do I join the Discord? That part is easy. Just head on over to Blue Sky and go to @GamingVessels, GamingVessels. You click the link in the bio, and you'll be in. We don't have any merch to hawk, and we don't have a Patreon tier list to pay for. We just ask you be a decent person, likes talking about and discussing games, and I think you'll find you'll have a great time aboard the good ship Gaming Vessel. So once you're in, just head on over to the Game Night channel, and you'll be able to enter mention the game that you want to play. And it's not just us; it's everybody else in our Discord community that you'll be able to play with. A lot of good people. It's really cool just to get together on a game night and be able to play games and catch up. So, and that is the purpose of our game nights. It's just kind of like a community huddle night, and just kind of hang out and play games and catch up. So, if that sounds good to you, then I would highly encourage you to join our Discord. So That's going to bring episode 289 to a close. We want to thank you for hanging out, cooling out, chilling out, without a doubt. So for Dez, a.k.a. the Bay Area Terror, a.k.a. the High Res Hater.
That's me.
A.k.a. the Cat Daddy, a.k.a. that Gamer Stepdaddy. And for Trader Joe, a.k.a. Jabroni Chief.
Yeah, Switch 2. Love it.
You might also know him as the Food Max of gaming, who can maximize your gaming dollar. I am Shonuff71, a.k.a. Digga Dulamite.
That purple bling bling, y'all.
And we'll be back, episode 290 for your ears. Peace!